Hello, my lovely grade 12 learners. Here we're going to make a video, a very short video on naming aldehyde. You will see that the steps are more or less the same as the previous organic compounds, okay? I'm making a video of each of the different homology series because there is a different, small, tiny difference in each of them. So that's all. But the steps are more or less the same. So aldehydes, the first thing we need to know is the functional group of aldehydes, okay? So aldehyde. Now, the functional group of aldehyde is a carbon that have double bond to oxygen and single bond to hydrogen. That is the functional group of aldehyde. Now, note that this carbon is going to be always the first carbon of the compound, either if it's at the back or it's at the front. Remember, this functional group could also, this functional group can also be made as following: carbon, double bond oxygen, hydrogen. So it's the same functional group. So you need to make sure that that is going to be the first carbon, and that make it a little bit easier. Okay, and then the other important thing is that the name will finish in al. For alcohol was all, for aldehyde will be al. So let's follow all the steps as we did before. The first one is homology series. You can find out here, you can see here the homology series at the end, and then therefore it is an aldehyde and the organic compound will finish in al. Alright, that is important. Second, determine the longest continuous carbon chain. Remember, for aldehyde, as we spoke for alcohol, always you're going to add the AN at the end of the number of carbon, like methane, hexane, ethane, propan, butane, and so on. Okay, so in this case, we're going to find out the longest one. Now we have different options. The first option is straightforward, there is, and the second option is with a tiny turn. Okay, let me just change the colors here, because I use the colors for the other ones. So here is the straightforward, and here is the one that have a small turn, is the option. Note, you cannot go the way back, because the functional group, you cannot do this, for instance, because the functional group must be part of the chain that you are selecting. Okay, so in the first one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, and therefore it is going to be pentane. Remember the AN, and then in the second one we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. So it's shorter, and then we take the first option. Okay, so what do we know up until now? We know the number of carbon is going to be pentane, and then we know that it's going to end in al because it's an aldehyde. So this is what we have up until now. Then step 3, number the carbon starting at the end nearest to the functional group. In the aldehyde, this is quite easy because the functional group is always the first carbon. So there is no options. The only option is starting from the left-hand side, the right-hand side, pardon, because it's the functional group. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And note what we have. We have, up until now, we have al, we have pentane. Now, in the aldehyde, you do not have to write 1 al, because it is always going to be 1 al. Always the functional group is in the first carbon. So you do not have to write 1 al for aldehyde, because it's always going to be in the first carbon. So up until now, this is what we have. Step 4. Use the substituents. Okay, halogens or alkyl group. So here we have one substituent, only one. This was a quite easy question. Here is the one, and it's a methyl. Methyl, that is in carbon 3, so it will be 3-methyl. So up until now, let's write always what we have. I like to do it so. So we have that is an al, we have that is pentane, and we have a 3-methyl. Okay, this is all the information we have up until now. If we move on, the last one is to write the name, and then according to all the information we have there, we just organize in this way. First, the substituent in alphabetical order. Here we have only one substituent, which is the 3-methyl. So the name is going to be 3-methyl. Then is coming the number of carbon, which is pentan. 3-methyl pentan, and then is pentanal. It's one word, everything, and the name is 3-methyl pentanal. I hope this is clear. It is very easy. The only difference from alcohols to aldehyde is that you do not have to write the number in which the functional group is allocated. Why? Because the functional group is always going to be in the first carbon. So this is all about this video. I hope you understand. It is not that difficult. Thank you very much, and good luck.